What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another comic video. It is part 3 of the Disney Plus show's main keys. So let's just jump right into it. All right, so they announced What If Season 2, since Season 1 was very, very good, well received, just amazing. Animation's really nice too. I like that little 3D type of look, but not being actual 3D. So anyway, there are really two main characters in the show, unless you count like Doctor Strange, but it looks like it's Uatu, the Watcher, and Captain Peggy Carter. And it looks like, from what the rumor mill is saying, she might show up in other projects. They might even do some kind of live action with her at some point. But in any case, she seems to be the one that they're gravitating towards, because even though Doctor Strange is still going to be there in season 2, as it looks like, because he's guarding the globe, he's already doing his own thing. He already has his own movie, whereas Peggy Carter isn't. So those are the two we're going to be looking at. So the first one obviously is Uatu. We're going to be looking at him, and you can see his first appearance is in Fantastic Four number 13. So Silver Age book, 1964. FF books are getting pretty hot just because it's getting closer and closer to the FF announcement. It's going to be slated at some point, and then all the keys and all the main FF books are going to go up. But back to this. All right. So since this is an old FF, it's under number 50 for FF. It is going to be harder to get in higher grade. You could see a 4.5 sells for about $1,058. A 4.0 sells for $784, and even a 2.0 is $500. So like the entry level of 2.0 below, it's going to run you about $500 or more, because when they come out with a preview trailer or something more, this is probably going to spike a little bit. And you can see there's the raw FMVs on these are $418. The condition on the books that I've seen online are usually going to be low grade, mid grade at best. Because I don't think there's very many high grade ones that are still floating out there, because I think a lot of them have already been sent in. I could be wrong, but this is kind of like an obscure, it's number 13. It's not like a very main character. I mean, it is, but not very as popular as he has been recently, right? As you can see here, it's hard to acquire, and it should keep increasing long term due to the scarcity. Like I said, it's very hard to get these in mid to high grade without having to pay like an exorbitant amount. So this is pretty safe. I don't know how many more are being submitted since the show, but this seems to be pretty good. Now, if this gets too high or it's too hard to get, I think the next one you could see here is Fantastic Four number 29. It's actually the first cover appearance of Uatu. And you could see that an 8.0 sells for $1,331. A 5.0 sells for $175, gives you an idea. It's a little bit easier. Good, it's a good alternative. But the main thing is, a lot of people do like seeing, I did mention this in the other video, the cover appearances are getting more and more popular as more and more people are getting introduced to comics, into the comic hobby. They're going to be looking at something that they recognize right away. So they look at number 13, they're like, well, what is, okay, first appearance, but it's whatever. But number 29, he's on there, they're going to recognize him right away. And I think the same thing goes for if you look at Tales So Astonished number 90 and 91. His second appearance is 91, but he's on the cover, Abomination. That's what I'm talking about. So that one has actually garnered a little bit more interest. Anyway, the raw FMV on this is only $57, so it's still pretty good, pretty affordable. And a high grade FMV in this is $150. I would get this if I can in higher grade, because like I said, the iconic cover or his first appearance being on the first cover appearance is going to be very important. And you can see on the cover too, it's all four of the Fantastic Four. It's beautiful. So if you can't get the number 13, 29 is the way to go. Okay, and the third book on this show that I picked is Tales of Suspense number 77, the first appearance of Peggy Carter, also the first appearance of Ultimo. Silver Age 1964 again. CGC 8.5 is $473. 7.0 goes for $250, so it's still pretty good. Raw FMV on this is only $52, pretty good. High grade FMV is $130, not bad. I think it's undervalued if you just look at this. An 8.5 is $473 for a Silver Age book with a character that's a significant character in the MCU before this, right? She was in, she was like the main focus of Steve Rogers' Captain America, right? And it looks like I wrote here, seems like more plans for Peggy Carter in the MCU. She's going to be in season 2. We might see her in Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness. We might see her in live action at another point. So who knows? But I think this book is primed to go up a lot more once we see more Peggy Carter, because like I said, $473 for an 8.5 is like, I think that's a steal. I'm sure you could probably find higher grades for not that much more. I'm sure you could find them also I've seen quite a bit of high grade raws that are just on auction, so you could get them. I think I got one that said VF plus or better, and I got it in, and it's super super clean. So hopefully it comes back 8.5 or better. But I only paid like $200 for it max. It was like 200 and some change. So I think that's pretty good considering the grade. So that's that first show. Now the next one is something they announced. I don't know. I hope it's not going to be like some kind of kids show, but it's I Am Groot. I'm pretty sure it's going to be some kind of animated show, maybe. But this is the oldest book in all the Disney Plus main keys here, I think, because this actually predates a lot of the main MCU stuff. Like this predates even Spider-Man. First Appearance of Groot, Tales of Astonish number 13, Silver Age book from 1960. Spider-Man came out 62. You can see this is really really hard to get. It's basically a grail, because you could look at a 4.5 CGC graded, sells for $4,100. A 2.0 is $2,280. Just to give you a comparison, Loki, the First Appearance of Loki, Journey into Mystery 85, a 2.0, sells for around the same price, $2,200 to $2,500, around there. And Loki's a much bigger character in the MCU. I mean, he has his own show. He has, there's been a bunch of movies, and he has a second season coming out. So, and it's a real guy. It's not just like some special effects CGI character. Anyway, I don't think the raw FMV on this is correct. I think I made a mistake here, but the high grade FMV in this is about 1583. I don't think there's any even out there that's in the raw, and if it is, they're asking $3,000, $2,000, whatever dollars for it. So you might as well be getting a graded book. But this is one of those going to be hard to get because it's really old. So I would go for the next one, because this will be pricing people out, I think, especially when that show comes out. Is Guardians of the Galaxy number 1. Oh, another mistake there. It's not Tales of Astonish, but it's the first appearance of the new team. This is a modern book from 2008, and this actually has been gaining a little bit of steam. A 9.8 sells for $600, a 9.6 sells for $178. The raw FMV on this is still only $55, which is good, and the high grade FMV is only $80. $80 a little bit more. Now this is important because it's the MCU movie based on this roster, and this is where you see like Groot in like the Groot that we know now, basically, right? It's a great alternative. It's trending upward. If you look at the 9.8 at $600, and if you can get a high grade FMV for $80 or a little more, and you can come back at 9.8, man, you're the return on that's crazy. And I think this is going to go up a little more, especially when Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out. So I think this is one of the books to keep an eye on. It's fairly easy to get, and it's a 2008 book, so it's really a good book to get in a 9.8 type of condition if you can, in the raw, because it's a modern book. Okay, and then the last one that we're doing today is the Marvel Zombies show. It's based off of the What If animated, so it's gonna be similar to what that was doing, and you can see that their first appearance is an Ultimate Fantastic Four number 22. Number 21 was the last page cameo, and now this is like the full one. You could even see the Magneto in the cover. There's a modern book from 2005. It's from the Ultimate Universe. A 9.8 sells for $450. CGC 9.6 sells for $215. The raw FMV on this is only $34, and a high grade FMV is $75. So it's still pretty good value. It's great value to send in for 9.6, 9.8 grading. You know, this and the other one. It should maintain over time just because Zombies is really popular, and they're probably going to expand on this. But this should be another one of those books that's fairly easy to acquire and high grade, and you can send it in for a 9.6, 9.8 grade. You know, I mean, 9.6, $215 is pretty good. It's a much closer gap. So I think this is a solid one to get. But if you don't want this and you actually want to see, you know, like the actual title of it, of the show, go into We Get Marvel Zombies #1. It's their first series, limited series, written by Robert Kirkman, so it's important to know. It's from 2005 as well. A 9.8 sells for $350. Raw FMV is $115. High grade FMV is $150. So, you know, you expect to pay over $100 for this in the raw. But I would only get this in a 9.8. It should increase over time, obviously, but this should be one of those books that once we get more news, this will start to climb a little bit more. Because right now I think it's still off the radar a little bit, even though the 350 is it's a decent price. It's pretty good value. I think once we get closer to that, both those books are gonna start to really climb. So if you can get these now, I think the 115 is a little high, but you know, if it's gonna be 9.8, which is easier to get because it's 2005, then I would get it and send it in. Okay. All right, so that's it for the Disney Plus shows. Actually, there's one more, and I want to do a special video on that, on the Agatha Harkness. We'll do that tomorrow, but because I have a little bit more to say about that and reading the tea leaves and whatnot. But yeah, that's it for this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think about the books that I chose, and what books you're getting. And all right, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.